I don't know if you know this, but I've actually been on YouTube for 10 years now. It's so crazy to think that I have been on the internet since 2012. But if you do not follow me on YouTube and you want to see like more videos, stuff about my life, I would love if you could go and just subscribe to me there. It's free. You can see all the videos. I post tons of really random things. I'm trying to post more as well, and I love requests. So if you want to follow me on YouTube, you can type in FitSid at the search bar, or in the description, my link for my channel will be there. But my channel is FitSid. So it's youtube.com/FitSid, I believe. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I do have a YouTube channel before we jump into this podcast and have some fun. I'm your host, FitSid, and welcome back to Dirty CEO, where we go balls deep into the reality of what people are really thinking. Now let's get into it. Dirty CEO. Hey everyone, it's your girl FitSid, and welcome back to Dirty CEO. So today I have my friend Erika Love here, and I'm just so excited because, first of all, Erika and I have been talking for a hot minute, and she has huge knockers. Like, I love the view I'm getting right now. Tell them more about you, though. Like, what do you do? Where do you come from? Like, what's your whole deal, you know?
Absolutely. But hey, y'all, I'm Erika Love. I live in Texas. You know what they say about Texas. And
Everything's bigger in
everything's
Texas.
bigger in Texas. You got it right, Sid. And I'm an adult content creator.
Mhm.
I also have a podcast called TikTok.
TikTok, right?
TikTok.
Yeah.
It's a comment that I was getting a lot from people on
Yeah.
TikTok videos.
I know. I follow you on TikTok, and your stuff, your are so big. Your content's so good. Like, I'm just like, whoo, it's getting hot in here.
I literally just have to stand there sometimes.
Yeah.
It's actually my best TikTok day. I just sat in a pool live and had 18,000 viewers. It was amazing.
I have a serious question for you.
Yeah.
Do you get stared at because you're just so big? Like, when you're out in public? Because I have G cups, and they look really small compared to yours. And I get stared at. I mean, right now I don't have cleavage showing, but like, I get stared at all the time, and guys are always like, your boobs are so big. But then when I'm next to you, I'm like, holy knockers.
They're big. They're big. Yeah, I'm a 36K. I'm Erika with a K, folks. I wonder why. And
wait, let me count that now. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's where I stop. I'm number 7, right? I don't know the rest of G, F. No, wait. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. That's 11. That's like double my size.
It's a lot. I've always been busty my entire life. And they just kind of keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When did you realize you had big boobs?
Like,
how old were you?
15.
How big were they then?
I was a 34D at 15 years old.
Oh my god. Yeah, wow. I was a D back then too, but like you're way shorter too. So like,
yes, I'm short and stacked like pancakes.
Yeah. I'm like, you're fun size, that's for sure. You got some fun bags there.
I've been called fun size before, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm 5'9", so like for me, like I knew I was always like, you know how like when you're younger, like guys are shorter, so like they'd always be up to my chest. So I that's how I knew I had big boobs. But like, I feel like, you know, you were probably a very big distraction.
Okay, this is the moment in my life, folks, where I knew I had big boobs and they were a problem. 7th grade gym class. Like I was already a C cup, and we had to do jumping jacks.
Yeah, did you wear a bra or anything?
I mean, I had a sports bra, but it wasn't enough.
No, and like I think that's the thing too, is like when you're younger, like your parents just buy you like something.
Your mom just gets you like whatever white sports bra from Walmart or something.
Yeah, like I remember mine was so flimsy and like no fab. Like the ones that you and I wear now are so like thick, and they still don't hold them in fully.
No,
but like
I wear 2 now.
Yeah,
if I'm working out.
Okay, but I can't do the 2 because I can't breathe then. Because it's like they pull it too far up. Like, because so like, what's your your band size?
I'm a 36.
Yeah, I'm a 42. So like when I'm buying sports bras, like the sizing just doesn't work for 2. So I just have to like push through. But it's funny because if I put 2 on, I feel like my heart and my chest and my lungs are like 2. Yeah,
I understand.
So I just have to like deal with the bounce. But like as a kid, it was like my first bra my dad actually bought me. And like, no, but it was funny because he was so excited to like, this might sound weird coming off, but like, he was so excited to be like part of the process of like helping me feel confident in myself. And he got me like this, it was like a training bra, you know, like I was in 6th grade and it was like this gray sparkly training bra with a matching underwear set because my dad was like, I want you to like be confident and not insecure like at school because like
you look at yeah, girls are mean.
And my mom though, she was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Like she got so mad. She told my dad, she was like, you cannot get Sydney a bra, blah, 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 blah. And it was just so funny because like looking back, she's like, I don't know why I thought that. She's like, I just was used to like you just being like
a little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, they call me gorilla at school. Like I needed one.
Well,
like,
that's the thing. That was the thing. It's like I got made fun of because people were talking about my and I like I was unaware, and I'm talking about this now, so clearly it's a traumatic memory from childhood, and that's where it was like kind of started. I was like, okay, I have to kind of take some ownership over my bustiness because clearly, even though my mom was also busty, it's like that naive mom.
It's a genetic thing.
Oh, absolutely. In my family, on my mother's side of the family, she's busty. My grandmother's busty. My other grandmother's busty. I have a niece who we've already warned her. I'm like, you're in for it.
Yeah,
kid. Like it's gonna happen to you too.
See, for me, it's funny because like my family, like, okay, it's my dad's side for sure, which is I think why my dad was like more comfortable being the one to buy it.
He knew
because like my aunt is like very tall. She's like 6'1", and my family is pretty tall. Yeah, I'm like short compared to everyone else, but my aunt's like 6'1" and like huge. A big tiny waist. Like in my family, like I'm definitely like one of the thicker ones, if that makes sense. But they're all very like health conscious, but have curves. Like no matter how skinny they get, like the don't go away. Yeah. And I think because my dad grew up with a sister who was older, he like was not as weird about it.
Right.
And my aunt, like even now, she's like very lean. Like she's super tiny waist, but like probably a triple D.
Yeah, honestly, if I was, I'm not shy about my weight. I'm 180, and even if I lost like 50 pounds, I would still have.
That's the lowest weight I've ever been is 180. I literally think it's so crazy how weight sits on people differently. Like,
this is like the heaviest during COVID, 189, and then I just made some changes. But like, I mean, I'm very comfortable with myself.
And you look great.
I mean, well, thank you.
But it's cool how like weight, like, okay, like when I was like my skinniest, quote unquote, 180 was like, number one, very hard for me to hit.
You're also a lot taller than me.
Yeah, but like I looked very skinny. Like after the podcast, like you guys know me back in like 2018, 2017, 2016 area. That's when I was like 180. And in 2016, if you go back and look at my face there, like it was very chiseled. Like I was very skinny everywhere. I was a size medium, and being as tall as I am, that's pretty small.
Yeah.
And my were still like a double D at that point, but like I was skinny and everyone was like, oh, you got to be like 150, 120. I'm like, no, like I'm 180. Like
people don't have they just automatically make assumptions, and then they're like, no, like muscle weighs a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
So if you work out, you got muscle, and I did, it weighs more.
And that was the big thing is like I was like constantly working out and doing things, but it's interesting how people think 200's fat, and it's like 180 was like my lowest.
Honestly, this is why I openly talk about it, especially on TikTok too, because people are so
and critical. A lot of people too, like the ones who are asking are not asking in a mean way. They're genuinely curious. Like
some of them, they want to know.
Well, social media trolls are different. I'm talking like your real supporters and like people who love you. Like I have guys on OnlyFans who ask me all the time, like, hey Sydney, like what's your weight this week? And I'm like 297, baby. Like
it's just so fun. I mean, like I talk about it because I want people to know like what real women look like. I'm very about body positivity and acceptance and like learning to love yourself and how you look. And I mean, people will ask how much they weigh, and then they don't believe me. They're like, you don't weigh that much because I'm short. And then I'm like, well, and then they're like, well, how much do you
have you ever weighed them?
I have not weighed them. I really want to. I want to figure out.
I wonder how we could weigh them.
I'm trying to think of like scientific ways to do it. To be honest, I thought about like water displacement. Like I dunk them in. And then we need a scientist to do this for sure. We could wear little lab coats.
We should do that. We should find someone who could actually do that.
Somebody was telling me, you know how they have those things that weigh your luggage, those little like pull things. So like you could try that on your.
I did that, but I think it was inaccurate a little bit the more I pulled.
Okay, this is like
it sounds silly, but I've tried that because I weigh my luggage every trip.
Oh, and you're like, okay.
Because I'm like the type of girl who I'm at 48, 49 pounds. I gotta make sure it doesn't hit 50.
No, I get it. There's got to be somebody out there that can help us with this.
Yeah. If you guys can, let us know. We need some
and then we'll get back together. We'll do this again, and we''ll be scientists.
Yes. With our goggles.
Yes, because you never know what could happen, right?
Right.
Well, because then once we know what they weigh, we can compare them to other things and be like, it really is the size of a watermelon.
Yeah.
It really is the size of a gallon of milk.
Seriously. How did you even start your podcast, by the way? Because I feel like everyone's story, how did you get into I have so many questions. How did you get into OnlyFans? How did you start your podcast? How did you find out that you were passionate about these things? Because I think it's interesting. We're doing sexual things on the internet, and I'm always how freaky were you before?
Great questions.
What made you think you were, good for this?
No, these are great questions. So I used to do entertainment marketing for a living, and then COVID hit, and a lot of people, I got laid off.
Yeah,
and I had always thought it would be great to make money off my big one day, but I always had a very corporate career and was like, how do I do this without people finding out?
Did you dress very professionally?
Oh my God, I would wear sheath dresses up to my neck. Finding jackets was impossible, so I'd mix leather jackets and cute dresses. And
I can't imagine you having to dress yourself like that, because I have struggles.
It's so difficult
being professional right now, and I don't know what those knockers like.
It is. Things always had to stretch, and I always tried to make sure that I was covered and professional. That's why I love doing this. I'm I don't have to worry about that anymore.
You can wear a bikini top that's see-through t-shirt.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. Yeah. And so having that life, I was always behind the camera. I understood branding. I understood, distribution and how to create good content on an iPhone. And during COVID, I was like, well, what's this OnlyFans? Maybe this is what I have been kind of looking for.
How did you hear about OnlyFans?
Do you know who Ashley Dunn is?
No, but I'm going to look her up after this. I'm a weird,
I think she is one of these sort of plus size models
who
got into kind of the Patreon game early on. And so I discovered her on Instagram just because I was like, oh, you're a curvy, voluptuous lady, and you're beautiful, and you're putting yourself out there. And then I think she had a Patreon.
Is it I am Ashley? No, not I am Ashley Dunn, not her.
No, not her.
I'm gonna
and she was this person. I was that's the first time I ever saw OnlyFans, and I was like, oh, I see what's going on here. And I started doing research on it, and after about 2 weeks, I pulled the trigger. It was okay, I'm going to start an OnlyFans and figure this out. And it took a couple weeks after that to figure out, well, how do I find other creators, and how do I network, and how do I get into this? And within 2 months, the first month, my first week, I only made $200.
Oh, is it her?
Yes, that's her.
Oh my gosh, it's funny. I'm pretty sure she lives in Arizona.
I think she does live.
Yeah, I actually know her.
Yeah, so she was the first woman that I saw. That I was like, oh.
I guess I just don't know people's names. I'm really bad about that.
That's okay, but right. So she's a big creator and has been doing this a while. And that she was the first person I saw that had an OnlyFans, and I was like, I want to do this. I can do this. And then
she's very busty like you. Yes, so I feel like you were like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it.
I can do it. Right. Yeah. And then I just went down the rabbit hole and started doing it. And then, over the course of, I've been doing this almost 2 years now, I thought, well, I'd really love to have a podcast. I think I could do this. I can talk to people. I love
you're a great talker.
Well, thank you.
You guys know, sometimes I have interviews where I'm pulling teeth. With her, I'm I'll ask you a question, and you're great at elaborating and actually sharing a story.
Absolutely. It's all about story. We are storytellers. Even if we're telling stories about we're storytellers.
And yours is literally called Tit Talk.
Yes. So. Honestly, for me, it's I want to make people laugh. Whether you're smiling at my cleavage or smiling because I told a joke, I want to make you smile.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of what we do as entertainers. Yeah. And so once I realized, it was oh, I have an audience. Oh, I can figure this out. I know how to hire photographers. I know how to work with crews. It just kind of all started to take off. And then by my 3rd month, I was I'm making a couple $1,000s now. This OnlyFans stuff, and just kept going with it. So over the winter, I, found people to help me start a podcast. Yeah. And Tit Talk was literally a comment I got all the time. And I was like, this is what I want to call it. Started doing it. I love it. And I want to do more, actually. I just feel like there's so much opportunity to create content.
Yeah. And when you like making content, I feel like it's a lot easier to just keep going with it, running with it, you know?
Absolutely. So, I mean, I love the format of doing like TikTok because I get to meet other women and like talk and tell stories. And then the other one, which I've done one episode of, and I need like more male talent to participate. Okay. So, in my previous life, I worked in the world of wrestling. Yeah. And I know way too much about wrestling for, for a woman of a certain age, I feel like. But it's called Into Submission. And it's pretty much where adult stars talk about wrestling.
Oh, there's a lot of people actually who are really into it.
Overlap. Oh, yeah.
It's like a very big overlap, to be honest. Like,
they're both very small worlds, to be honest. And once you like,
is Alexa Bliss one of the stars?
Yeah, she's like a big.
But I hear a lot of people talk about her, so it's funny because like that's kind of how I was.
She's very cute.
Yeah, but that's how I was able to like kind of like start seeing.
Yep,
the overlap was like, and then I started seeing way more posts. But when I noticed like that specific girl, a lot of adult content creators and fans love her, and then they bond over her, you know?
Well, I mean, we have passionate fan bases. And that's a big similarity with the world of wrestling, too. And, like, each individual, like, wrestler is their own brand. And so that's where I kind of was like, I want to be able to do something fun with the male talent. Yeah. So many of them are into it. And, like, that's where that came from. So I'm hoping to get that off the ground, too.
That's exciting.
I mean, I just feel like there's so many ideas that, come out of doing this work and collaborating with people. So I kind of see this as the future. And keep doing this sort of like interview, make it more of a brand instead of just doing OnlyFans. I mean, OnlyFans is fun and it's great.
Do you think you're a wrestling fan?
There's
because
a few.
You're in that.
You know what? I never even been to wrestling before I started that job, but immediately, like, I was overpowered by the energy. You walk into an arena and you're like, I mean, these guys are amazing. They can control a room full of 10,000 people.
Right.
And honestly, when I started doing OnlyFans, that's what I thought about. I was like, I want to be like The Rock.
Yeah.
I want to be able to stand in my arena of OnlyFans and control all my fans and get them to cheer for me and follow me. Yeah. And that like learning and character development and talent development from that really did help me in OnlyFans.
Do you think like what made you realize like you could do OnlyFans on the explicit level? Because like anyone can take a picture, in my opinion. Okay, it's not that hard to take a picture, especially for you. Like, we took some, you guys. If you want to see any of our, like, I'll have in the description our links. But like, first of all, she puts my to shame. Like, yo, we both have big naturals, but hers are like
big naturals.
Like, I would put her in like the XXL category, and me in the medium if we had to compare like
oh my gosh.
But they look so good together. We both have tan lines right now.
It's so funny when I walk in a room and I don't have the biggest in the room, but it does happen. It does happen at times.
I don't think it's possible.
God. When somebody has like pea cups, I'm like, but where did you get pea cups?
But how many times has that really happened?
Have you ever met Peyton Thomas?
Have you met her?
Yeah. I'm like,
hers bigger than yours?
God, her put mine to shame.
I'm actually supposed to see her tomorrow. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna feel so.
We have some good comparison pics. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna need someone to hype up my.
Literally, like I put mine on top of hers in a picture, and like hers are just underneath.
But you guys have such big ones,
so heavy too.
I think you know what I'm gonna need to do, you guys. I'm gonna need to show random strangers my just so I can get like a little ego boost. And you're not allowed to be there because if that happens,
I'll leave the room.
Yeah, no. We'll put a freaking turtleneck on you.
No, some guys like that. Some guys like turtlenecks.
We're
it's a thing,
y'all. If I can't keep my eyes off her, I don't know what else can, because I try to be so polite. I'm like, you know what? Your eyes are like so pretty.
A little bit more tempting.
Yeah.
We'll just, I'm pool ready.
Actually, take it off. Yeah, take it off. It looks so cute. I love the white, and you're so tan and like cute. And
I know I got tan lines going already.
It's perfect.
So, I mean, we live in hot places, so you got to be pool ready anywhere you go.
You look so great.
Thank
you. This is great. But so like, did you put your face in your content starting out? Or
yeah, I started with my face, and I know that's a lot of people struggle with that at first.
Yeah, so that's why I was asked that, because like I feel like some people they they kind of like just dip their toe in.
Yep.
What did you do? Did you just dip your toe in, or did you like full
I knew people were, because I get commented on my eyes a lot. You also have beautiful eyes, so like a lot of fans come to us for the eyes. They
like faces and like expression. They do,
and so I knew that was going to be a big part of it. Yeah. And I was like, okay, no, I'm gonna put my face out there, and I started, like a lot of people do, solo content. Slowly got more comfortable with everything, and it took a good. I mean, I only started doing more advanced content.
And explain advanced to them. Like, you can be explicit on here. Like,
okay, so boy girl content in September when I shot with Finn.
Like 6 months. I'm bad at math
I was probably like did OnlyFans for a year and a half, and then I was like, okay, well, because it was also COVID. I was like, well, COVID's kind of calming down, and I know if I want to continue with this, this is definitely going to be something I need to think about. And I had studios contact me and reach out to me too, and I was like, I don't want to do studio thing. Like, I'm not really sure if that's for me. And then I think
the hard part about mainstream too, just so you guys, when she says studio, she's talking about like companies like Brazzers,
a Score is the
Platinum Plus,
people.
Like all those different companies. When you shoot for them, you are working for them. You can obviously consent is key in those shoots and stuff, but like the thing is, like, if you, at least for me, you guys know I like to do things my way. And if I'm shooting for a studio and they're telling me what to do, like, you're on set, like when I've been on set, it's been like 6 hours, 10 hours. And like some days it's just like it's not enjoyable, but when I'm doing it myself and I get to pick who I want to like, it
is different. And again, having a background where I've been behind the camera, like I kind of understand what it like when talent is contractually obligated to do something, you got to do it. And so I, met male creators and
who was your first collab?
So Finn was my first. He was in Dallas, and I did some with him and Stella Daniels, who's lovely and beautiful.
I have to look her up. Keep talking.
Stella's gorgeous, and she's also got nice, lovely. And so I did my first like boy girl and then he also was like, you should try coming to this content party, and somebody else had said the same thing to me, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I went to camp.
Oh yeah, she is pretty, by the way.
Stella's gorgeous and lovely. But I call it camp because I literally showed up, stayed at this house with like probably 30 other creators for a weekend. Wow. And I'm like, I saw things, folks. I saw bang for the first time, and I was like, that's super advanced, that's expert level. I was
is that a bucket list thing for you? Or do you know if you even want to do it? Be real with me here.
Okay, so I recently got into this year. I do like those are fun. A full-on bang where I'm the center of attention might be a little bit much. I mean,
like, you don't like attention like that?
Well, I just don't know if I could handle like 9 BBCs or something. That's a lot.
I don't know if I could handle it, but like, I really love attention. So like,
I mean, I like attention too, but I it's
that might be too much.
It's not off the list. I'd like to I recently liked her. So these like 2 guys at once. Check that off the list.
Who was that with?
Actually, Finn was there. Finn and I have had. Finn's been there for a lot of my firsts. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I feel like though when you find so like with tell me if you don't agree. Okay. Like, we don't have to agree on this. In my opinion, when I'm shooting with people and I'm comfortable with them, I'm way more apt to do first with them. There are people that like. So do you know who Scotty P is?
Heard the name.
So Scotty P is someone that like I shot with when he was actually like very fresh in the game. And I was like decently fresh, and I had just started shooting like a lot more BG at that point. He and I shot. He planted the seed with me that he would be down to shoot puke with me. I know that I can throw up pretty easily because my first boyfriend face me a little too hard, and I threw up pancakes all over him.
I did that once.
But like the thing is, I knew that, right? So when he planted the seed, we shot a couple more times, and then the next time that we shot after that, he shows up, and I'm like, I'm ready, Scotty. Okay. I'm ready to throw up on you. And it was one of those, like, I felt comfortable. He didn't push me. And when you have someone like that, and now like Scotty and I have done other things, but like I think the next thing we're doing is double. But
that's on my list. So like DP, like, I'm definitely curious about those things, but I want to do it with somebody I'm comfortable with.
And I think a lot of people think we just anyone for these things, and
I turn down a lot.
And it's one of those things too. It's like you have to be in the headspace. Like, I definitely need an emotional connection, not in but in my personal life, like to want, like I crave that, right? When I'm shooting, there's some type of connection I still need to be able to like have a good experience.
I have to like you as a human being. I really do. For me, and it's like a level of attraction is usually there as well. And
chemistry, even if
there
it's
needs
not
to
like
be some chemistry.
I'm a high chemistry person, so like it has to at least be 50.
Well, and that's also why it's like, the guys that I work with again and again now, it's like they are like my friends and they're my colleagues, and I know I can trust them and I can ask them for things outside of just a scene. You know what I mean? I can be like, hey, I need help with this video, or like, hey, do you know this person? Do you know about this event? Like, I can go to them, and that level of trust really helps sort of like continue to build that relationship. And you were talking about the guy that made you puke, and it made me think back to the guy that I had that experience with. So the first time it even crossed my mind about, I dated this guy Matt. When I was living back in New York City.
So this is the first time you thought about maybe doing.
There's a couple things. So this was the first guy I dated who made me comfortable with my plus size body here. He loved it. And then he was the first guy that I dated. He's like, you could do. He's like, oh my God, you're amazing. You could do. And like, I never thought that, but like, he definitely called it 10 plus years ago. And he was the first person that like pushed my boundaries.
Did he do or something?
No, he's a startup guy. He's like a venture capitalist.
I love that. I love that. It's always those ones that are freaks too.
But like he was the one. He's the first guy who choked me, slapped me, hair point, everything. Like,
which, with the right person,
is amazing.
Yeah, and I think I
amazing.
Think even if some people aren't into like being as submissive or like getting pain or whatever, I think people don't realize like, with the right person, you can try and do so many things.
Dom sub thing just like clicked and worked there.
It has to work,
And I became like a very big believer in like, well, you don't know what you like until you try it. So I was just like, I'll try all these things. And so now, I mean, I still talk to this person, so it's kind of funny to be like, because he's like, are you gonna shoot for Plumper? Are you gonna like,
have you?
No, it's not. It's I did talk to them, and it's just not. We're not a good fit for each other. That's what it comes down to. But I have nothing but respect.
Yeah. So I want to know, like, you can say pass. Why don't you guys think you're a good fit?
I don't have the ass and the legs.
Really?
I'm not a traditional BBW.
And that's literally the reason.
Yep.
Damn, I think that's one thing too that I think people don't think about.
They don't, but I respect it, and it's like I live in Austin. Thick Lizzie is the other like BBW creator there. We talk about this, and I mean, and she's explained to me like how the shoot process is different because guys want to see certain things, and she's like, you got this small line and these skinny legs, and like, I mean, but I get it because it's a business. Fans want a very specific thing, and while I am like plus size and have big, I like am missing the rest of it.
But you're not missing it. I think it's just something too that people don't realize. Like, okay, so this is something that I think isn't talked about enough. Is I am 5'9", you guys. I have been in a lot of other industries besides. And one of the biggest things is like society's view of beautiful. This is the most inclusive industry, in my opinion, that I've ever been in because they don't need to change me. Like, I can be myself. And this is one thing I love. And like, this is why I love like meeting people like you, because you and I have connected. Like we have fun together. We can talk about life. We can talk about things. And like, you are so beautiful.
Thank you.
And the crazy thing is like when Plumper Pass, which if you guys don't know, Plumper Pass is a BBW site.
Yeah.
So like think Brazzers, but for big girls. So like these girls have huge, big asses, tummies. Like it's not for people that are
if you love the tummy, like go to Plumper Pass for sure.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, even they have a look or whatever that they're looking for when they're paying a girl, because they're paying you to perform for them, right? But that doesn't mean, and this is something like that, we talk about this like literally every podcast. I end the podcast by saying you're always somebody's type. Just because Plumper Pass is not interested in you right now as a performer doesn't mean that a ton of other people are like, oh my God, I wish you would shoot for that company.
Right. And I have been approached by some others and I've turned them down because, if I am going to make that move to do studio work, I want it to be big move.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And I think, though, too, like, it has to be right for you. Because I think what people don't realize is, like, so, like, everyone kind of knows, like, I don't shoot mainstream. Mainstream and studio work's the same, interchangeable word, by the way. But I don't shoot mainstream because for me, like, number one, I said earlier, like, I'm a controlling person when it comes to my content. Like, I want to feel comfortable. Like, I can say, like, I want to do this actually today. I want to do that. But then also, like, I want to be able to work with whoever the I want to work with. Like, I know that I know that, like, my
I want to be able to turn down a 14-inch BBC if I have to.
Right. and like, or like, if it just doesn't feel right.
Right.
But I also know, like, my fans, like, I know what they like. I know that they love, like, I know they love girls who have personality. Like, whenever I collab with a girl that, like, I can see the difference. Like, they're never going to complain on who I work with, but, like, they are I mean, I've had, like, one girl that I genuinely was surprised that they didn't like. And the thing is, it was just because, like, they don't really care, to be really frank. They don't care about bodies.
My fans care. They're like, why are you, who's this girl with no and I was like, okay.
When I mean bodies, like, this girl had, like, a banging curvy body, like, literally no tummy, big, and it's all natural. Big, like, one of those ones that's, like, kind of rock hard, but, like, real. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It's, like, plump and juicy.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Like, I was like, why are you guys complaining? But, and it's, like, huge. But the thing is, her face. They didn't like her face. Like, genuinely, like, for some reason, I think it was because her facial expressions weren't, like, genuine.
Oh.
Like, they
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like, they were like, she's killing my. They're like, Sydney, I look at you in the video, and then I look at her.
The eyes, folks. So much of what we do is communicated through our eyes.
Yeah.
It's eye contact. And honestly,
and
like,
she wasn't smiley, though.
I genuinely, like, if you get a genuine smile out of me when we're shooting, I'm like, that really is genuine. Like, I really am enjoying sucking your in that moment.
Right. and I think that's the thing, though, that people don't think about is, like, they don't care as much about body if, like, if the face and the personality is not there.
Are you having a good time? Are you enjoying what you're doing? And
right.
do you communicate that on camera? I know what you mean, because it's the same thing with, like, quiet people. I can be really vocal, even in my own personal sex life. I've always been vocal, and a lot of guys like that. And if you're just quiet on camera, if there's no, like, story or dirty talking or anything, it gets a little kind of, like, it can get a little stale.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that. I mean, making content is not just about setting up a phone. Like, you really do have to think about all these other things.
Well, and, like, the chemistry has to be there. And, like, the chemistry with, this girl was a little bit more on the shy side, which normally shy girls and I get along really well, because, like, I pick them up, toss them around, like, dominate the out of them, and, like, use them in the best ways possible. You know, that's like, amazing. I make them my doll. But this girl was, like,
I love it.
she was, like, not confident in herself, so I wasn't going to push any boundaries. So, like, you could tell in the videos that it was very much a, like a not so great push and pull. Like, like, I wasn't pushing very much, and she wasn't really pulling me in.
Right.
So, and it wasn't because she didn't like me. Like, she literally, like, we, hung out the whole day and, like, everything. It was just, like,
but you gotta have that vibe on camera. You gotta know how to work off people. And I think
not even on camera. Actually, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, take away the camera, and it's like the chemistry. Like, there's so many girls that I'm like, yo, I just messed up all your makeup, like, in the hottest way possible. And, like, same with guys, it's like,
there's definitely, when it comes to working with women, I definitely need to have a vibe, and I definitely need to have a connection. The first I did was, like, girl. And
was it all girls?
It was all girls. And I was like, first of all, it's like, this is so many. I don't even know what to do. But I mean, half of the women were faking it. And like, I'm like very bi-curious. Like, not every pussy is the same.
You call yourself bi-curious?
I pretty much call myself, like, okay, listen, you can go down on me. I'm probably gonna like it. But I like, not every woman I want to go down on their. I love making out. I love sucking. I love playing with.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I could explore more in that side. I've never been by a woman with a strap on.
Really?
Never. No. Somebody wants to take my strap on.
I wish I had my strap with me.
It is out there. The offer is out there, folks, to be like strap on virginity is so intact. And because it just hasn't been the right opportunity or the right vibe. So I totally know what you mean. Like, it has to be there with, like, men and women and, like, all the people in a scene.
Yeah. And I think, okay, so, like, at least for me, I am very much pan. So like,
okay,
me, it's about personality over anything. Because like, okay, there was this really hot guy last night that was hitting on me, y'all. Like, when I tell you to a T, he was sexy, and I wanted to bang his fucking brains.
Is this the guy with the mustache?
Nope, different one, but he looks just like him. They're all sexy, you know. Like, give it up.
I think it's so funny. You love the mustache.
This guy fucking opens his mouth and he sounds like a goddamn Chad. Like, he's like, yeah, bro. Like, not bro. He didn't call me bro. He's like, yeah, babe. Like, I just want
to call a woman bro,
right?
Ever.
But he had like that vibe, and I was like, you're kind of killing the vibe. If you would just shut up and like let me suck your.
Listen, this happens. I have this thought at times too, where I'm like, don't talk. Let's just
have some fun. But the thing with him is like we kept talking, and like he wasn't that flirty vibe. Mm-hmm. He was more like the bro, like the bro vibe. And I was like,
I need a little bit of like, and that's where I mean, honestly, if you're okay, so
I'll probably still fuck him though.
Yeah,
keep going.
I know what you mean though, but it's like you obviously attract guys that like big.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you're not into big. Like, I'm gonna know.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be into them because you gotta know the things to do with them. You gotta know the things that I'm
want
to do.
If you want to do it too.
Want to. And it's like, I mean, I don't know if you know this about me, but my specialty is an extremely aggressive. Nobody's lasted like more than 6 or 7 minutes. It is. And then it's aggressive.
Do you feel their like throbbing between your?
Yes, I mean, like for me, it's really a whole body workout. I mean, like it is like
yeah. I totally get that.
And
when did you first like? Because I feel like that's actually something that like when I didn't for a long time until I got into. I think that's the first time someone showed me. I think a guy like actually
was like, yeah.
No, I think he like literally like I was sucking his and then he just took my and did it himself to show me how to do it, and like he even spit. Like this dude was, I think it was Logan Long, probably knowing how crazy Logan is, but like, and he also taught me how to wink too. But like, you know, like when you like, I'll show you later too. We can maybe make a video. You just squeeze your like hole and wink it. Like
I know what you mean. Okay.
But he like legit pulled his pants down. I was like, look, I'm gonna do it first, and then you do it. And I was like, what? But the whole like learning how to like you have such big like did a guy.
I was probably so I mean, it was definitely a boyfriend or a guy I was dating was like, and it was the lay down, and then you know, kind of just naturally learned other ways to do it, and now I'm like, okay, I mean, there's 2 standards, which is the lay down or what I call more of like the ride.
What do you like better? I mean, like genuinely, like if you had to pick one right now, if there's a right in front of you,
I'd probably do the work. Because I want you to enjoy yourself and. I mean, I don't know. There's a visual for me. There's like a visual excitement of seeing the shake on the
right,
like the laying down and the. But some people like that too.
So the laying down, like I personally, what I like is when guys go back and forth and my mouth it's like hard. Like
if you're laying down,
but like I lay down. Well, see,
that's why I like if I'm doing the, you know, like I'm doing the ride, I guess I'm going to call it, because that's when I can get them together and I can suck the and I can be doing this with my. Right. Because if it's a big, it definitely sticks out. And I'm like, well, this is more of my specialty.
I don't know how many stick out with that because they're really, really
you
big.
Probably need like a good like 8 inches at least.
And like
a 10-inch looks real good.
And as I'm talking, just a little reminder, you can always go to onlyfans.com/fitsid for my VIP OnlyFans. Has all of my scenes unlocked right on the feed, my pictures, everything. I reply to direct messages there every single day. And then I also have a free OnlyFans page, which is onlyfans.com/xxxfitsid. So if you're interested in seeing my OnlyFans content, you can go there. If you'd like to see my other stuff, you can go to fitsid.com. You can find my socials. And thank you so much for the support. I always appreciate it.
Are you a size queen or no?
Okay, so
size queen to me is over 7.
Maybe a little bit of a size queen. I probably like a good like boyfriend. You know what I mean?
What do you think would be a good
like a good
boyfriend?
Good boyfriend is probably for me is like 7 to 8. A little girthier than average.
What's that like? What would you consider that?
I mean,
Like enough to fill your mouth?
Oh my God. I wish we had a normal mic. Enough to fill my mouth for sure. Yeah. You know, like I'm using my hand, but I'm like probably like this. Okay, like a solid, like not, you know, we're not talking like that. Yeah. Like not like a Coke can. That's start.
I know. I've had too many of those.
And some of those you're like, I gotta breathe. I gotta just give me a second.
Sometimes have you can you deep throat?
I can, yeah.
So like
I don't really have a gag reflex.
I've been working on mine, but it just depends on the day. Sometimes I'm like, I'm dying.
No, I like that is actually something where I'm like, okay, I'll like put a little effort into making the noise because I know people like the noise, but I'm like, I just never really had much of a gag reflex.
This is how you know you're a whore.
This is what I was born to do.
Yeah, this is peak whoreness right here. See, I definitely was like, I was like a very promiscuous person before.
Yeah, I definitely was.
But the thing is, like, I definitely had a gag reflex, and like, I would literally be like, "Oh God, I have to stop! I'm about to throw up on you," because like, I love taking it down my throat. But when I started taking like the soda can, like, I've been able to take a lot of that down my throat.
It's a whole different game.
But it actually makes my throat like bleed because I don't know where to stop, so I bust it. Like, I've been to the dentist, and they know who I am. A lot of actually like my doctor, like the dentist guy, like the doctor, you know. He actually is a fan of mine. So when I started going to the adult dentist, not just him, but the front desk lady knew who I was because I guess her son has a picture of me in his room. And like,
that's awkward.
So the first time I went, she was like, "Oh my God, like my son knows who you are, blah, blah. Like you guys should go on a date." Like she was really trying to set us up. And then the dental guy, like, you know, the hygienist, the girl, like the girl who like cleans your teeth, right? She was cleaning my teeth and giggling. And I forgot that the day before I had like really busted out my throat. But not just that, I actually have pictures. I took pictures after this dental thing because I realized my entire top of my mouth was bruised from how much I sucked.
Yeah.
Like I was sucking.
That happens, I've realized.
Yeah.
And like,
and they can always tell if you're promiscuous like that. Like if you're sucking dick, like they know secretly. And the dentist guy was like, "Did you see the scene?" And I'm like, "No, I just had some fun in my personal life."
Yeah, I have a you know, kind of similar sort of people doing these personal services for you.
Yeah.
So my waxer.
I knew you were gonna go in this direction. What happened?
I mean, there was like a couple situations where I finally had to break down and tell her what I did for a living. She's like, "You're all bruised up," and I'm like,
"Bruised up? How? Where? Like in between your thighs?"
Yeah, like my thighs, like all bruised up, and I was like, "Oh, I don't really know what that is." And then like I showed up again a couple months later, and so I did a fan sign for somebody on the inside of my thighs, and I used eyeliner, and I thought I had gotten it all off. I had showered, and she's like, "Who's Allie?" And I was like, "All right, I'm just gonna come clean right now to you and tell you I do OnlyFans, and a fan told me to write their name on the inside of my thighs, and like, and I thought I got it all."
You're like, "This is an awkward, you know, confession I'm gonna do to you right now."
And then she's like, "Do you want me to like wax you in a video? Do you think somebody would pay for that?" I was like, "We should talk about that."
Did you do that?
No, I didn't, because I'm like, I'm like, that's a very vulnerable position to be in, like getting your asshole waxed done.
But that stuff actually sells really well. Do you not do a lot of content then?
The content I do is more stepmommy, dom stepmommy. I mean, I've definitely done food related things.
Yeah.
Like I a chocolate cake the other week.
How did you the chocolate cake? I was trying to picture that, and then I was like, "Are you tongue it? What's going on here?"
I had it and got on my kitchen counter and made a mess. It was chocolate cake for this fan.
That's was it just a custom, or is it going to be available?
It was just a custom. Yeah,
Did they pay for exclusive rights, or are you?
They paid pretty well. I will do type content.
Yeah.
I've done balloon stuff before.
Yeah, I love
inflatable. What else have I done that's like really funky and naughty? That's in that realm.
Have you ever had your ear?
I've never had my ear
tongue.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I've definitely asked people to be like, "Can you get somebody to fuck your armpit?" And then I asked like guys, and they're like, "I'm not your armpit."
I'll fuck your armpit.
There you go. My armpit.
Have
like
you ever had someone lick your armpit?
No, but people want.
So
you lick my armpit right now.
Yeah, honestly, after this, I like doing stuff. in the 4 years that I've been doing this, it's actually been really fun to explore like things that aren't actually like typical vanilla.
Yeah.
I find it really fun. Like I have a guy who's in Vegas and he's very freaky. Like it's low-key hot how much he's open to things, you know?
I mean, I like, serum vanilla stuff at times. I definitely love a man that knows like how to work my ass, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like if you know what you're doing, that's awesome. And like I in this world it's like I have to have the conversation with somebody, be like, hey, do you want to throw me? Like and have like that kind of conversation.
Do you want to throw me so innocently?
Yeah, exactly. And then but also be like, it's like I'll ask like a guy to like choke me. And I'll be like, oh I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah. Like, well, either you want to do it or you don't. If you're not comfortable with it, then that's going to ruin it for me. So,
and if someone isn't comfortable with it, you don't want them doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, the guys know how to do it, know how to do it.
And they do exactly. it good.
So, like, personally, for my own stuff, it's like, I love that stuff. I love the daddy stuff, the dom stuff in that sense. I'm absolutely open to exploring different things.
That's the fun part, though, is like, when you're in the mood to explore something, it's fun. Yeah. If you're not, it's not going to be enjoyable. It's like your personal, like when you're personally, it's so like, okay, I love having like, I don't do it as much anymore because safe sex is the best, you guys. But I used to men after when I lived in Europe, you guys. My biggest thing was like, when you're in Europe, you can go clubbing a lot younger. You can drink a lot younger. So we'd all go out as a group and I would take home. Well, one night I took 2 guys home the same night separately.
Well, yeah.
So like I went back to the club at 4 a.m. and he was still there and I was like, this is the one I really wanted. So then I took him back and then he missed his flight the next day. But the thing is, like both of them were so different. The experiences. One of them put on Kygo.
Okay.
Because he was like 37 or something, and he
I would say that wouldn't work for me.
No, but he thought like because I was so young, like I was.
You assumed you'd like Kygo.
Yeah, he was like he put it on for me because he was trying to be thoughtful, but like our was like definitely not bad. It was just like very vanilla, and then the second guy was like 57, I think, or 61 or something, and he's actually like a very well-known football coach.
Wait, 61?
Yeah, like he.
Oh, you go older, like way older.
I low-key I like experience, and back then I really enjoyed like whatever chemistry I had was like I was just down for, right?
That's wow.
Yeah, and I was like the age of consent in the country that this happened in was a little bit younger, so I was not 18. Just for the record, I was 17. But yeah, so like it was a very big age gap.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he was so respectful when he asked if he could do it, like the little stuff, that I was so down to try new things. And it was crazy because like then he slept over, missed his flight, and I felt so good about the experience because it wasn't like a hit it, quit it, like old man using me thing. It was a very much like we had fun, we flirted, we tried new things, and then you scrambled to the airport, missed your flight, and
I mean, I've definitely gone older. I do appreciate older.
What's the oldest you've had sex
15 with? Years older. Okay. So I mean, like,
meanwhile, I'm like 40 years older.
Well, and also like I was a little older when I I like started to be like, ooh,
when did you lose your virginity?
Oh God, I was so young, 8th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it a good or bad experience?
It was good. He was my boyfriend. I had a serious boyfriend. We thought we were in love. We were, totally unsupervised by our parents. And, again, like I developed at an early age and got a lot of attention at an early age. And, but I mean, no, he was my very first boyfriend who I loved. And, we were each other's first and we were together like 2 years. It was like that very puppy love kind of story.
But I think it's so important when people have a good sexual experience because I actually like talk to my fans who are either virgins or like just lost their virginity because it's like actually very popular. Like I'm not sure why they gravitate towards me, but I love it because I love having conversations about like good experience, like having a good experience and telling them like, wait till you're ready. Because when I was ready, it was so much better. Like I was a fucking like mental for a very long time. Like I really had a dirty mind. I would do things with my friends. Like, but when I actually like lost my virginity, that was like, I'm glad I waited because it was such an amazing experience, such a positive one. And I think it like made me enjoy sex Because if I hadn't had a good one like you, I probably would have been like one of those people that's like, I don't want you to touch me.
I mean, like, I've mostly had good sexual experiences in my life, and I think that comes from smart decision making for the most part, and being careful and all of that kind of stuff. I think, wait till you're definitely ready. I think the emotional stuff really came later. The sort of stuff definitely came later. Like, I totally, there was a phase of my life. I'd been in a very long-term relationship for like 8 years. And like, after I got out of that, I was like, okay, I, went on a spree, of course. And then after like a year later, I was like, all right, no, I'm going to be a good girl. And I did for 9 months. Yeah. But that sent me down the rabbit hole. And toys and like self-discovery. Yeah. And then I was like, oh no, I like this. I want to find somebody who's into this. And then kind of reemerged with this new sort of like, just like knowledge of what I liked and what my body responds to be able to explore even further with people.
What are your turn-ons?
Oh my God.
Like genuine turn-ons.
Genuine turn-ons. I love a tall man. Physically, I love a tall man with a beard. Beards are, if there's like a beard, I probably have that. Yeah. I like just
I think there is. There probably is.
Like I, obviously I like a man with some confidence. For sure. I like being approached. I don't like being the aggressor.
I know I'm so aggressive. I need someone to actually approach me if they're interested in me. Yeah. Because when I get into relationships, I need someone to chase after me in the beginning, which people are always like, that's so stupid. And I'm like, no. It for me, I'm so aggressive. When I'm in it, I'm in it. And like, I'm also the type of person that like, once I'm down, I'm down bad. I'll show up to your work, like announced. Announced and bring you like lunch, like make you dinner. Like when I care, but I need someone to show me they care first.
Right.
I'm not about to put myself out there.
And here's the thing. It's like, you can maybe relate to this. It's like men come at me with sex all the time. Yeah. Which is fun. I want to know that you like big titties and that you want to me.
It's also though, like, tell me if this is something that you think, because I actually thought about this really deeply yesterday. Like, this sounds so weird, but recently I've been going through like this like frustration with like, I want a man to like, so like when on OnlyFans, when I log in and message my fans, I go into this like excitement of like, I go into the mindset of like, I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to be sexual. If we have a normal conversation, cool. But like, the sexual stuff and making videos for them and stuff like that is like fun for me. Yeah. When I'm like anywhere else, I don't really want someone to like, OnlyFans is sexual. My sites are sexual. Come to me there and be sexual because I'm in that mindset. Yeah. Do not come to me on Instagram and try and dirty talk for free. Or go on my like dating app sites and think that you get that, because I feel like there's like you like when you go to the site, it's like I'm in that mindset of like I log in and I'm like you.
Oh my God, fans definitely make me at times. Like I've had that experience where it's like, whoa, like role playing stepmommy, that was like way hotter than I thought it was gonna be.
No, and then also like, okay, when I log in, like, okay, this guy sent me a DM on OnlyFans. And he was using the panties he bought of mine and jerking his with them. And I got so turned on. I did not know that was like a for me, but apparently it is. But like, if I had seen that on Instagram, that would have pissed me off. Like, not pissed me off, but like, I would have been like, why are you not realizing I'm a human,
So this is, so the thing that like, so this is like good because we're getting more to like what's like really gets my juices flowing. Yeah. So there are I definitely have some fans who are like investing with them. I'm like, oh no, this is really hot. And like, I genuinely have to go after. I do
it right. Literally,
it's like, I'm my job. I feel like it's like, I want to make you in that moment. And then I'll usually I'm probably, but I'm
so you don't have a rule that they have to wait till you.
I do know. I'm so like, I want them to feel good. And then I'll be like, okay. And like now, I mean, sometimes I'll but like, it's not always guaranteed. If I'm in the moment, I'm going to finish the job. Yeah. But the thing, actually where it comes into kind of like the powerful thing is like, I love knowing I can make you, right. I want you to for me. That is my, like, I own
and that's so
that.
Hot.
And I own those and all that side. Like, so that's mine.
Do you make like videos while you're testing fans and like send it to them?
Yeah, definitely.
So when I'm doing that, like I kind of have a rule for them. I'm like, you know what? Like if you're gonna play with me, I'm gonna come and you're gonna come and we're gonna come at the same time. Like that's my favorite. Oh god.
There definitely is some like, you know, people that are into kind of like a little bit of like the dom stuff. I'll be like, no,
are you
don't
or submissive or whatever?
I'm a switch. I can totally do both. So
I'm very much more dominant.
OnlyFans definitely helped me like discover a dom side, and then I got into it, and I was like, no, like you don't. It's not time. Some guys, you know, it just works. Where I'm like, it's not time for you to come yet. You're not ready to come. I know when you're ready. Yeah, I really do. Like I look at your, I look at how hard your is, and I know when you're ready. Yeah, no, and then I let you.
No, okay, so that makes sense. I guess because of my like, I'm very much more like dominant. Like I can be submissive to certain fans. They definitely know if they've had a personal conversation with me. Yeah. Or on Panther, like, you know. Yeah. By the way, I get my texts, and I think you do. You're on Panther too.
Yes, I am.
It goes straight to your phone, right?
They do. It's amazing. Yeah.
And so like sometimes I'll be in the.
You're getting a hold of us on our personal phones immediately.
Yeah, and I'll be at the grocery store and I'll be like,
oh my god, I've totally done. Yes. I've totally walked through the grocery store, doing my grocery shopping, and like, oh my, I've absolutely had this experience.
And it's just funny because I feel like people don't like realize like when they're on those things, like we're down, like we're game. But when we're on social media, when we're on dating apps, it's like, bro, treat me like I'm a person. Like I'm fine being your doll on OnlyFans because like when I'm that's when I'm online. Yeah. And like I low key like I probably like 20 times a day, like easy. It's really really bad.
Every day. I haven't had since I got to Headspace
though. Well, did you right before it?
On Friday, I got railed on Friday.
I haven't in like 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
And it's like really weird because I'll like 20 people in like 2 weeks, and then I'll like no one for 2 weeks, and then I'll like back and forth.
Like, I go through phases too. I definitely have a time of the month for sure.
I actually think I'm less right. I'm like about to start my period, and I think
that's like the least time. Yeah,
for me.
And then like 5 days after, I'm like typical.
Yes.
Mills. Like I mean, my just wet constantly.
Do you like to on your period? Like if you know someone like personally?
If I'm in a relationship, sometimes I mean like it depends on my mood and like. Depends on various things. It's not something that turns me on though. I know for some people it's genuinely like and I will do that. Yeah, I have done actually for that type of content. Yeah, but it's not something. I mean, I'm like, dude, I'm tired. I want to eat an edible. I want to lay down, take some Tylenol, take a nap a lot of the time.
I also feel like doing the content that we make, like you have to have boundaries. You know,
you do have to have boundaries. Yeah. Boundaries are constantly evolving, I will say. In this world.
And so I think for me, my biggest boundary is like if I don't want to, I'm not going to. If I want to, I'm going to. So if I'm doing it, I want to do it.
Right. And I mean, like you were just talking about social media and stuff. I'm like, my boundaries don't send me pics on Instagram. And like,
are you on any dating apps?
I do Bumble.
So if you guys see her on Bumble and it's legit her, then it's her. But
yeah,
I always ask that because it's one of the I'm on all the
it's genuinely like it's really me. Yeah. And the thing is, it's like and like if you come at me with right away on Bumble, even if I tell you what I do, you're not gonna get it back.
No.
I literally had a guy trying to me, and he was like 50, so it was sort of like I was going for the older daddy type, and he didn't know what I did yet. He really had. I sent him my Instagram, but like he didn't quite. I don't think he was there yet, understanding what I did, and he's like. Send me a picture of you in bed. And so I literally took a picture. My hair's in a messy bun. The blanket is like up to here because that's the position I was in. And he's like, and he laughed. He's like, no, like a sexy picture. He's like, oh, I charge for those. And then silence. Like the guy did not talk any further.
I don't do that per se. I'm the way that I would reply to that. Well, this is how we're two different people. Like you did it funny. I get so offended, bro. Like I literally will go off on them.
I learned honestly, like very young age, having big to just use humor to deflect men. It is I'm in the church of Dolly. Like Dolly Parton was my big idol growing up, and the way she would handle men and like bat off these like advances and just joke things off. I've carried that through my entire life. Like when I would be harassed in my previous life, I'd be like, ha, why are you trying to get me fired?
You know what I do though? I'm the opposite. I educate them. Like, cause And I don't think your approach is bad at all either.
No,
just so you
but
know,
I do think this is a little bit of like, I'm a little older than you, and it's like just like a difference
in mentality.
Like, yeah.
For me, like I'm pretty blunt. Like anyone who knows me, like if I don't want to do something, I don't want to do it. If you make me uncomfortable, I'll tell you. But and like that's how you know. Like when we started talking, like I was so blunt with you. I was like, girl, I don't know when we're gonna be able to meet, but we will.
Yeah, you were like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but the thing for me when it comes to like guys that are like trying to, so I find it so attractive when a man hits my line with some real shit, bro. Like that turns me on more than anything. And I haven't really like explained this on the podcast before. My mindset when it comes to like being treated like a person is like, I need that most emotional connection. Like there are so many dudes, like I've been single for a long time now. And there's so many dudes that I have and had amazing sex with. The thing is, they start with, oh, let's talk about our dogs. Even if it's fake as like, talk to me about my dog.
I know, dogs get me too. I'm like, I think my dog's cute, great.
Yeah. Talk to me about my dog. Talk to me about my smile. Talk to me about my eyes. Talk to me about what I like to do. Connect with me on another level, because that's going to make me get into your bed so much faster.
It is, honestly, if you make me laugh, obviously, I have, you know,
you're like, you make me laugh with my mouth open.
Yeah, honestly, like, make me laugh, flirt with me, be witty, you know.
Like, I love that.
That is definitely something that gets to me, like, faster. And it's going to help me also, like, open up to, like, the more flirty and then naughty type of conversations. Because, like, I mean, you're not going to be able, because if my like mind and my heart are open, then you can really start to discover like, what is the stuff that like gets me going emotionally and mentally.
You can really actually have a much better sexual like connection.
Oh my God, no, the people that understand the daddy dom stuff, I'm like, oh God, just and right now
trust,
I'm yours.
But the trust, like,
oh, well,
you know,
to
like
me, honestly,
to try all of that, because for me, like,
all about trust.
I'm pretty, let me tell you, anyone that I've in the most, you know, recent like year, they all are like whipped real quick, because I know what I'm doing, but I'm not going to do it with someone if I don't feel like we can communicate well enough for me to try that, you know?
No, for me, for someone to get rough with me, which I enjoy. Yeah. I do have to trust that. Yeah. And it makes you vulnerable immediately. Yeah. Because again, as women, like we are physically less strong, most of us. And you
maybe not me, but
you know what I mean? Like you have to be like comfortable. I mean, you're with this like 6'2", like muscular man or something. You have to be comfortable in these situations and trust that it's you know, that everything's gonna be good. And when you have that, it does intensify quite a bit. And then you do like a growl in my ear and my reps.
Yeah. Well, and like piggybacking off of all of that, like that is where that's different. Like I love to, like, you're sexual, I'm sexual. Like I love to have fun, I love to play. You can't just expect a woman to do that.
Yeah, you need to be able to like bounce off of each other.
Yeah, but like also at the same time, like I'm such a, I know you are too. That's why I think OnlyFans for me is like such a great like outlet, because I'm able to like be myself there, and like I know that these people respect me, and it sounds silly, but they respect me because they're on here knowing that they can be on here to do that and say that. Yeah. And they're like taking their time, spending their hard-earned money, which like I really appreciate, to be able to support me and respect me by going to the right place to talk to me.
I agree. And you know, you're right. Like I have always been a person, and like definitely like if you're my boyfriend or a guy I'm like dating, like once you get past that like early stage, I'm like I am flirty, I am sending pics and all of that, and like that's why I do.
So really you're flirty like when you're on dating apps and stuff?
I am. Oh yeah, I'm sassy. I'm flirty. Obviously, I'm like I attract men. Like
have you ever had a guy though say that they're a guy?
they're a what? Oh my God, I made a TikTok about that where I was like, you know, the theme of it was like, oh my God, you meet the perfect guy and they say they're an ass man. And I was just like, oh, it breaks my heart. But I mean, I've dated guys that aren't like obsessed with big, but it's definitely better for me when they are.
Yeah,
like,
no, really, totally.
Because there's men that like big and then there's men that love huge. And I love the men that love huge.
Right. Well, you want someone to appreciate like your assets. For me, because I have ass and like I'm pretty proportional, you guys. Like I don't know my measurements off the top of my head, but I measured like the other day, and like my ass is 65 inches, and then my
girl.
Yeah, it used to be 56, so I definitely put on like some inches there.
Do you know?
God, I have actually a picture of my measurements. I wrote it on a sticky note. Let me look right now. Because it's funny because people always ask me and like.
Yeah, we get asked how much do things weigh and in the measurements and all that. Like, so I've measured my and they're 52 inches around.
Mine too. I just look. I have a picture. Look.
Oh, there you go. 52.
Yeah.
It's 52 inches around, folks. That's a lot of.
So literally, you and I, just for the record, you guys, like, she's so much shorter. So like, her like actual tits out are much bigger. I have a much bigger rib cage than her and stuff. But like, I'm 52 here and literally 65 here. It's so insane.
I know, and that's why it's crazy because it's like when people, I'm like, you know, and it's funny because men that love curvy women, I'm like, my chest is bigger than yours, honey.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like,
yeah, my heart though underneath is so big and like full of love.
It's the only thing bigger than my boobs.
No, whatever. That's the other thing. So, you know, I actually do joke slightly. Okay, like I probably came off like a bitch earlier, but now it reminds me like my only thing that I say on Tinder if they talk about my, because like I have a lot of guys who obviously like, immediately say that. Like one guy will be like, your ... eyes ... are so big, like being funny or like something, and I'll be like, my heart is so much bigger.
Yeah, my heart's bigger than my like a true Southern belle.
Yeah. but that is something I always say is like my heart is just so full, so big, so loving.
Oh, and I want my pussy to be even fuller.
Yeah, fill it up. Fill it up. Do you like pies?
I love it. Actually, I really do personal sort of stuff that I role play a lot is impregnation breeding, pies. There's just something, it's like the ultimate domination for a man.
Yeah.
Of me.
No, I totally get that.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I used to wrap my legs around guys.
Oh, yeah, to be like,
yeah, like you gotta come in me.
I know. And when guys are like, oh, is that okay? I'm like, I want you to.
I really like more innocent men, to be honest. Like the more experienced they are, like sometimes it's fun. But like a lot of the time I like it when they're like that with like, can I, am I allowed to, you know, nervous vibes. That to me is so freaking attractive. I feel like we could talk for days though.
We could. I know we're gonna have to do this again.
I know I'm gonna have to have her on again, you guys. If you guys want to find Erika Love on anything, I will have all of her links down below. What is your OnlyFans link though?
It is the Erika with a K Love.
Yeah, so onlyfans.com/ the Erika with a K Love.
Yep.
And I'll have all her stuff, though, down below. You can follow her on all her socials, her OF, and anything that we end up shooting, because we're about to start shooting something. You can, you know, ask either one of us for that. So, yeah, I'm just excited. And then also I will have an interview that she's going to be interviewing me on her podcast. And I will have that link down below as well. Whenever one of ours goes up first, you know, it'll get either updated or it will be just down in the description. So thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget that you are always somebody's type. Have a great day. Have a great night. Have a great week. Sydney out. Bye.